want my children to die for Israel.
Do not be selfish. Your children will go to war for my people.
Wait, I have a serious question. If the United States drafts Americans, typically they would be drafting Gen Z, right? So who do they expect is going to fight this war for them? Because the majority of Gen Z doesn't support Israel. Like, that's kind of when you know you've reached the end of an empire, I guess you could say. I could almost guarantee that Gen Z would be fighting against Israel and the United States and helping out Palestine and Iran if they were drafted.
I am not dying in a war so Israel can stay a country. I will serve time in federal prison. If Trump dodged the draft, so can I.
I'm not dying for Israel. Fuck that. I will take the time in federal prison. I do not care. If it comes to a point where we have to get drafted and we are getting sent to the Middle East, lock my ass up.
Majority of Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. Okay, they're getting their information from TikTok and whatever it is, and we're losing that war. And when you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman and AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, we got the group across the board, Jan Combs, you know, founded WhatsApp. It's us. And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on so that the truth can prevail over the lies. And when we do that, the future of Israel will be stronger because a majority of all Americans will support Israel. We'll make that happen. We have to make it happen. Thank you.
Every celebrity has Jewish people in their contract. This is not hate speech. This is the truth. And these people, if you say anything out of the line with the agenda, then your career could be over.
Listen,
so
I hear you. You made that point.
Cutting off my point.
Because the point is because
why do you keep?
Yeah,
sir,
here's why.
Don't cut me off, sir. Respect my point.
Listened to it. You've made it several times.
No, I'm not finished, sir.
I understand, but you said it several times.
I'm not finished,
it is
sir.
an
But my
ugly
people haven't
thought.
heard me. My people, they need to hear. They need to hear me saying out loud what the truth is. There's a bunch of people in Hollywood that are actors, that play basketball, that play sports, that are in music, that know what I'm saying, that feel what I'm saying, and they're happy that I'm saying what I'm saying.
And now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
If I was a male between the ages of 18 and 25, I would go and get a medical diagnosis from a doctor or physical disability diagnosis from a doctor, and I would do it as soon as possible. Being that Israel is doing what they're doing at this point, I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to try and drag the United States into this war with them. I remember last year they were trying to pass Bill HR 8070. It had a lot of information in it about service members and some things about the military and medical military and all that stuff. But one of the main things that I noticed that it had in it was the fact that it would automatically register males between the ages of 18 to 25 for selective service. They didn't have to notify anybody. It would automatically do it at the age of 18. Now, the House of Representatives did pass this bill, but ultimately it did not go through Senate, so it's still pending, which means it could still be passed. But the only thing that could keep you from being drafted if you're 18 to 25 years of age is if you have a disability, a medical disability from a doctor or a physical disability that you have been diagnosed by a doctor. Even going to college cannot exempt you from being drafted. If they need enough people and you are able-bodied, you can be drafted between the ages of 18 and 25. And the way this administration's going, I have no doubt in my mind that it could get to this point. We have 3.5 years left. So there's no telling. Things are popping off, and it's bound to happen at this point.
I believe the United States should be helping Israel conduct these attacks.
What the United States needs to do now, although I don't have any idea whether the Trump administration will do it,
get American forces into the region to defend Israel.
To defend our deployed forces, to defend our Arab friends in the Gulf region.
And then also, we should be getting to plan phase
2 of this.
Given the destruction of the Israeli military facilities, it's now time to think of the campaign for regime change in Iran, because there will never be peace and security in the Middle East until that regime is gone.
You have just been drafted into the United States military. You're going to see the record for the most people who willingly said, I'd actually rather sit in a jail cell. You're going to find a record amount of people in the United States that if they get that call, there might be some hard decision making, but there will be a record amount of people going, okay, no, I'm good. No. Well, you have to. I don't. The other choice is jail. Okay, I'll sit in there. No, don't be shocked. Well, people are just going to throw their hands up and go, I guess I got to go die in this other country. Nah, their parents and cousins and older siblings and stuff, like they saw how they were when they got back from Afghanistan. Especially after harping on it, how we were done with overseas wars and stuff like that. Do you really think people are just going to forget about that shit? We literally grew up learning about how fucked these wars were. And we're dealing with it again, possibly? You're going to see so many people get that call if it ends up coming, and they're going to go, yeah, no, I'm good. It's going to be a problem.